speaker, Dr. Pratap Jethwani. He doesn't need any introduction. He is an executive member, All India RSSDI 2020-22, Honorable Secretary, Gujarat State Chapter of RSSDI, Organizing Secretary, RSSDI 2018 at Ahmedabad, past tutor for postgraduate diploma in diabetes course for Leicester University Fellow, RSSDI, and Fellow Diabetes India. The section editor, Sadicote's International Textbook of Diabetes. He's a member of so many organizations, immediate past president of Association of Physicians of Rajkot, consultant diabetes specialist at Jethwani Hospital, Rajkot, and visiting diabetes specialist at Rotary Midtown Diabetic Clinic, Rajkot. He has presented a lot of papers and in various state and international conferences. Ex-editor of Madhu Monthly Gujarati magazine for diabetes patients. And Dr. Pratap Jethwani doesn't need any introduction. He's a very, very good speaker. And it's over to you, sir, for your deliberations.
Thank you, Dr. Raka and Dr. Suresh Purohit for kind introduction, and also Gopika. Let me start by thanking Dr. Bansi Sabu, uh, my mentor, my guide, my friend, for making me part of this prestigious event. Just a minute, I think my screen is there visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible, sir. Can you go full screen, sir?
Yeah, yeah, just I am trying to do that. So, thank you, Dr. Bansi and the team, for inviting me to speak on this topic, that is diabetes management in the age of COVID-19 with point of care testing. So, today I will be talking about POC testing in the times of COVID-19. How can we help our diabetic patients with the help of this testing? So, let me begin by first defining what is POCT. As per the College of American Pathologists, POCT, that is point of care testing, is defined as tests which are designed to be used at or near the site where the patient is located, that do not require permanent dedicated space, and that are performed outside the physical facilities of the clinical laboratories. So very small handy instruments can be used that can be carried anywhere, and where cartridges are generally available, and you have to put a drop of blood inside that cartridge, and then the machine will read the value for that test, be it HbA1c or lipids or albumin creatinine ratio or CRP, or variety of tests they are available. Currently, lot of tests they are done with the help of point of care testing instruments, starting from bilirubin to reproductive profiles, and nowadays currently if we go in COVID-19 diagnosis, then rapid antigen test, even antibody tests, all this they are point of care instruments are available, strips available, and other things available. Apart from laboratory tests, thermometer, pulse oximeter, handheld Dopplers, even portable sonography machines, they also come under the purview of point of care instruments, because they can be utilized in a bedside manner for the diagnosis of a condition. So if we go by, I think the year 2020 is totally disrupted by this pandemic of COVID-19 caused by a novel coronavirus 2 infection. In spite of this difficult times, I think um, um, the organizer of this conference, Dr. Bansi Sabu, is working hard as the chairman of Diacare as well as the president of RSSDI, and he is the person who is responsible for bringing this concept of organizing virtual events in this era of COVID-19, where people from all the international platforms can come together and discuss about recent progress in the field of diabetes, so that we can improve the lives of people living with diabetes globally. As far as COVID-19 is concerned, we all know upon exposure, some people will develop a mild illness. In others, it will progress to moderate pneumonia, and few will develop severe acute respiratory distress syndrome, respiratory failure, septicemia, septic shock, and multi-organ failure. And if you see across the spectrum, there is a lot of use of point of care technology for diagnosis and management of people who are having COVID-19 infection. Starting from screening, there is use of rapid antigen tests. For confirmation, there is RT-PCR test. For monitoring, there is pulse oximeter, thermometer, bedside monitors are available. And once the patient recovers, to finalize that the patient has developed immunity to coronavirus, you can go for COVID antibody test. So there is a lot of scope for point of care testing as far as COVID-19 itself is concerned. But we will be talking about diabetes and COVID-19. So let's come to that topic. So according to the World Health Organization, individuals, they are at high risk of severe complications or the complications of COVID-19 as well as mortality, particularly when they are having certain comorbidities in the form of obesity, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, cerebrovascular disease, chronic lung disease, as well as cancer. And diabetes is one of the most important risk factors for people to have complications, severe illness, as well as mortality when they land with this COVID 19 illness. These are the various papers across the globe. If we go by the first paper, that is from USA, diabetes prevalence in COVID-19 patients was 10.9%. In non-hospitalized patients, it was only 6%, but in hospitalized patients, it was 24%. And people inside ICU, almost one third, they were having diabetes. That means diabetes was associated with severity and need for ICU admission in this cohort of patients. And the same data is there if we go by mortality also, as compared to 6.2% in non-diabetic patients, hospitalized patients. In diabetic patients, the mortality was 28.8%, almost 4 to 5 times higher mortality. The Chinese data says that it was increased from 5% to 16.1% in one cohort, and in another cohort, it was increased from 14.4% to 24.5%. That means presence of diabetes itself, it suggests that if that patient develops COVID-19, then the risk of severe complications, the risk for ICU admission, as well as the risk of death is much higher as compared to the people who are not having diabetes. And this is because of variety of factors. One of the important factors that most of the diabetic patients, they are either overweight or obese, and that is the reason the obesity is associated with variety of other comorbidities. All these things together, they contribute to high risk of complications in diabetic patients. Also, diabetic patients who are already having complications in the form of diabetic nephropathy or cardiac complications, hypertension, or even peripheral vascular disease or variety of other complications, that also add to the problem and that further increase the risk of complications from coronavirus infection. So if we see, this is the way how obesity it contributes to severe course of COVID-19. There are comorbidities in the form of diabetes, kidney disease, cardiovascular disease. There are metabolic problems in the form of pre-diabetes, diabetes, insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, and hypertension. And there are various respiratory abnormalities, starting from impaired respiratory mechanisms to increased airway resistance to low lung volume, low muscle strength, and all this they contribute to severe illness. Whenever these people they land with COVID-19, the chances of having severe illness they are much higher. This is the data which says that diabetes, if it is well controlled, as compared to diabetes which is not well controlled. So these are two groups of people. One group is having median HbA1c of 7.3%, where mortality is only 1.1%, whereas the another group which is having median HbA1c of 8.1% and the mortality is almost 10 times higher, that is 11%. So this gives you a hint that diabetics, particularly those who are not maintaining good glycemic control, they are at high risk of severe complications and mortality. And the same data is there from the NHS England, where they say that the deaths in people with diabetes have more than doubled during this pandemic. And these are the various data. The first data is from Holloman, which says that as compared to HbA1c more than 10% to people who were having HbA1c of 6.5 to 7%, the hazard ratio was 2.19 in type 1 diabetics and 1.62 in type 2 diabetics. The another data says that as compared to HbA1c less than 7.5, those who were having HbA1c 7.5 or more, the risk of mortality as compared to without diabetes was 1.5%. For those who were having good control of diabetes and those who were not having good control of diabetes, the mortality was almost 2.36 times higher than the non-diabetic individuals. So this gives you a hint that people, if they are having a good glycemic control, that means the risk of complications or severity of illness is much lower as compared to those who are having poor glycemic control. We also know that COVID-19 has got a lot of impact on the healthcare services across the globe and as well as in our country. There is a significant decline in physician office and clinic visits. Both healthcare professionals as well as patients, they avoid this follow-up visits, particularly in a chronic care segment, that is like diabetes, hypertension, and CVD. The use of telemedicine has boosted. There has been a significant drop in face-to-face visits and therefore a significant drop in diagnostic testing to manage these chronic diseases, particularly diabetes if we go by, then HbA1c, lipid testing, and all these things. The frequency of that testing has gone down because of this pandemic and because of decrease in face-to-face meetings with healthcare providers. This has been highlighted by WHO in their survey. They have tried to find out what happened to the services for chronic care diseases across the globe, how much they are disrupted because of this pandemic. And if you see this diabetes, almost 50% disrupted, most of partially or completely. And this will translate into a poor glycemic control, and that will translate into a bad outcomes on a short term if they land with COVID-19 infection, and a bad outcomes on a long term because of increase in the risk of complications that will result from this poor glycemic control. Also, there is a change in patients' behavior during this pandemic time. So most of these people, they are now concerned about the impact of this pandemic on their health and economy. Many of the people, they have lost their jobs, their businesses have gone down, and there are a lot of economic crisis for these people. So they have curtailed their healthcare budget as far as their medicines or laboratory tests or healthcare funding is concerned. They have curtailed their budget, and that is translating into their poor glycemic control. There are two group of patients. One group of patients who are economically viable, they do more testing, they follow diet, activity, other things very well, and they control their sugar in a good manner during this pandemic time. And other group of people, because of multiple reasons, they relax, they do not follow guidelines, they do not follow visits, they do not follow testing, and they land in poor glycemic control and multiple problems. We also know that even when there was no COVID-19, everything was normally running, and in those era also, there was only 26.7% of patients they were able to reach the target of HbA1c, blood pressure, and cholesterol, even in United States of America, as per their own data. And the frequency of testing was also very poor. If you see, only 7% they were tested at the recommended frequency for HbA1c testing. This is the data from America. So what will be the situation, or what was the situation in India, one can only think of. So this is even when there was no restrictions, no COVID-19 in normal conditions, still the frequency of testing was less. Can we improve glucose control by improving the testing frequency? Definitely. So people who achieved HbA1c less than 7%, the chances were 2.4 times when the patients were managed in compliance with HbA1c testing frequency guidelines. And this further increased to 5.3 times when, in addition to this testing frequency guidelines, they were managed in compliance with anti-diabetic treatment recommendations. So this is a study which says that 70% of patients who were tested and treated according to ADA guidelines, they were able to meet HbA1c goals, whereas only 30% outside this, they were able to reach HbA1c goals. So just by following guidelines and by doing testing at recommended frequency and by doing recommended anti-diabetic treatment, you can achieve target HbA1c in almost two-thirds of individuals who are coming to the clinic. And for that purpose, this point of care testing has brought a very important revolution or important contribution to improve the rate of testing of HbA1c, particularly in India, in small remote villages. If laboratory facilities are not there, if there is a good clinician is there and he himself is having this point of care testing instrument for HbA1c, patient can come in clinic, consult physician, get HbA1c tested, get other things done, and get his treatment modified. And that is the way forward, that we can reach targets early, aggressively, and we can avoid complications. So this is a data from the primary care practice where pre-POCT 66% were testing according to ADA frequency, and that was increased to 95% after the involvement of this POC instruments and that point of care testing technology, and this resulted in a decrease in HbA1c levels. So this says that just by adopting technology in the form of point of care testing, you can improve the frequency of HbA1c testing, you can improve the treatment of patients, you can improve their HbA1c, and you can reduce the risk of complications. The advantages of point of care testing, particularly in this COVID-19 times, is that patient revisits can be decreased and unnecessary contacts can be avoided, because patient has to go to one place only one time. Everything will be done then, and exposure to more number of people, exposure to more places, that can be avoided, and that decreases the chances of contracting coronavirus infection also. So currently in COVID-19 pandemic, diabetes management which is required is glycemic control should be optimized, and special attention should be given to people who are having poor glucose control, multiple risk factors, complications. But reality is that people, they stay home because of the risk of getting infected with this virus, and face-to-face visits, they are substituted for telemedicine consultations, and because of that, the testing for HbA1c and few other things are going down. People are not also following self-monitoring of blood glucose testing guidelines, and because of that, the risk of a poor glycemic control and the risk of complications is increased. Now, I will touch upon the Indian recommendations for in-clinic POC testing, which was developed under the leadership of our organizing chairman of this conference, Dr. Bansi Sabu. I think is inspiring a lot of people, not only in India, but across the globe, to come out with latest information related to diabetes, so that we can improve the care and we can improve the living of people who are having diabetes in our country. This was developed by a panel of expert diabetologists from our country, and mainly there were three parts in this document. First is POCT definition, I have already told, advantages and critical aspects, and key recommendations on in-clinic POCT implementation by the panel. So definition I have already given. Ideal POCT HbA1c analyzer should have acceptable performance, standardized to establish reference. Both it should be certified by NGSP, IFCC, simplified operation. Anyone can operate that instrument. It is very simple. I am using it in my clinic since last 5-6 years, and it is very easy to use. Good memory for storage of results, very good connectivity with software, and the one instrument can do tests, 4 or 5 kind of tests: HbA1c, lipid profile, glucose, albumin creatinine ratio, microalbumin, CRP. So a single platform can do, with the help of different cartridges, you can carry out different tests. So this is the advantage of this kind of instruments. One point of care instrument can do various tests with the help of different cartridges, and it reports HbA1c in both NGSP, that is percentage, and IFCC, that is millimole per mole units, along with estimated average glucose. And no result should be reported when correct result may not be possible to achieve. So when there is a problem with the result, it will give you an error message, and it will not give you any result. Minimization of probability of pre-analytical and post-analytical errors is very important whenever you think of using these POCT devices. So accurate calibration based on barcode test cartridges, internal quality control checks are there, operating temperature and humidity range should be optimal. The instrument will check for that. If temperature is on the higher side, immediately a warning will come. Works in acceptable HP range, checks for sample coagulation and hemolysis. These are the pre-analytical errors which are minimized with the help of technology in these instruments. Additional error minimization is done because there is no sample transportation. expertise-based access for multiple users, and no order verification, no delay in reporting. Once you put the test in the machine in a given slot of time, the result will come out. So key recommendations for POCT from this Indian consensus is that fully automated with minimal manual intervention to avoid errors, operated in clean, well-lit environment with temperature control. That is must, because in India and summer the temperature may go up to 44, 45, and this is not, the machines will not work in those high temperatures. Competent and trained operators for adequate equipment usage, establish internal and external quality control programs, accurate identification of patient while specimen collection is there, storage of reagents and consumables as per the manufacturer's recommendation, provision of equipment for self disposal of blood and contaminated consumables, and maintenance of error log for assistance of any investigation on potential incidents. These are the key recommendations, and many of these recommendations they are followed by this POCT machine by Abbott company for HbA1c, that is LRAF. There is a very good article which was published about this laboratory medicine practice guidelines, evidence-based practice for POC testing, where they have covered almost all the POC testings which are being done in America, and they have given they have asked various questions, and they have given their recommendation. So regarding HbA1c, they have asked two important questions. First, does the provision of the HbA1c result at the POC level lead to an improved patient outcome when compared with central laboratory testing? And they said there is good evidence to support the use of POCT for HbA1c in both the primary and the secondary care setting. And the strength of recommendation is A. Same way, whether it provides economic benefit, and they say that there is some evidence to show that POCT testing for HbA1c will lead to an economic benefit. This is after reviewing various data related to this POCT testing in United States of America. They have come out with this recommendation. So definitely POCT testing for HbA1c, it improves outcomes and it is going to be economically beneficial. Apart from HbA1c, there is lipid profile, albumin creatinine ratio, and C-reactive protein, and various other things which can be done with the help of POCT testing. But for current pandemic, I will focus only on C-reactive protein and albumin creatinine ratio. Albumin creatinine ratio is very important parameter. It gives you an idea about albuminuria, microalbuminuria, which is a risk factor not only for diabetic nephropathy, but also for the future risk of cardiovascular events. And we all know when to do that, so I will not go in details of that. CRP is very important parameter as far as COVID-19 is concerned. It gives you an idea about the level of inflammation in occurring, and that is very good way, particularly in diabetic patients who are presenting with fever. You may do this test and you may try to identify whether they are having inflammation or not. And there are various guidelines which recommend that CRP is one of the important parameter to be investigated at frequent intervals in people who are having this COVID-19 illness. And it gives you an idea about prognosis, about the risk of complications, various other things. I am not a specialist in COVID-19, so I will not go in detail. But CRP can also be done with the help of POC testing. That instrument can give a result within few minutes. Put a drop on a cartridge, and that will give you an idea about CRP level. So to summarize, I will say people with diabetes, they are more likely to experience severe complications and high mortality, particularly when they land with this COVID-19. And if they are having good control of diabetes, then the risk of complications is less as compared to those people who are having poor control of diabetes. And complications of diabetes, they also work as an additive risk factors, particularly when they land with this infection. So regular diabetes management, regular HbA1c monitoring, and good control of diabetes is must for diabetic patients, particularly in these times of COVID-19. And this can be achieved with the help of point of care testing. By improving the frequency of HbA1c testing, one can improve the treatment and one can achieve good glycemic control and try to reduce the risk of complications on a long-term basis or on a short-term basis when they develop COVID-19 infection. With that, I thank you again, Dr. Bansi Sabu and team, for making me part of this prestigious conference of 2020. We are coming to the end. We hope that in 2021, we will not do it virtually. We will be there face to face meeting with all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.